Good morning. Today is April 19th, and I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. So I'm going to read from 365 Days of Kindness. And last night I was watching this TV show. It was on PureFlix. It's called The Encounter. And it's how Jesus is in, like, all these people and like kind of changes their path, right? Well, this guy kept saying that, Jesus hasn't been there. Jesus hasn't been there because he was always seeing the negative of the world. Like, he was a doctor and he's always seeing death and everything like that. And Jesus showed him that, what about this? Your family's here. This is here, right? All this beautiful stuff is here. But you choose to look at the evil and the bad. You focus on that rather than the good stuff, right? And then, right? So this is a message, okay? When it has to pertain, when I see it on TV and then all of a sudden I see it in my devotion, I'm like, oh, okay, I will speak on this, right, God? That's how it works, okay. So it says, we're reading on Psalms 145, verse 5. On the glorious splendor of your majesty and on your wondrous works, I will meditate. God not only created us to enjoy one another, He also created the world around us to bring us joy. If you take time to reflect on the beauty of the earth around you and ask God to open your eyes to see how He might be expressing Himself to you, you might need to see His brilliance in the bright color of a flower. You might need to understand His wisdom in a way a tree is bringing fruit. You might even be able to sense His humor in a way of the little puppy, in the way a little puppy chases his own tail. That's so cute, right? God's love, creativity, and power is shown all around you. Pray that God would open a friend's eyes to this revelation. Act of kindness, bring flowers to a friend. So I looked at this and I'm like, oh, God's wonder, God's beauty, right? Because in this world we have negatives and we have positives. We have beautiful things and we have ugly things, right? We have things that are just not right in the world. But what are we going to focus on? What are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on the things that are just, nasty and like, oh, this happened, right? Or are you going to focus on like all the beautiful things that God has? Like yesterday, a friend of mine sent me a rainbow over like a water. It was so beautiful. I always want to see rainbows. I love rainbows. And so I'm like, oh, that is such a beautiful picture. I mean, it was just like, and the water there. It was missing in the middle because of the clouds, but then you could see the ends and they were going into the water. It was so pretty. So that's a beautiful thing to focus on. So why don't we, just focus on the beauty that God gives us? Like, there's flowers everywhere. Spring is here. There's flowers everywhere. I love flowers. Flowers is something beautiful, and it's so easy to focus on the negative, right? It's so easy to do that, but why are we sitting here focusing on the negative when, we got positives to focus on? So today, your homework is to focus on the positives. See something positive rather than negative. Be kind to somebody. Help somebody out. If you see somebody on the side of the road, why don't you stop? Or are you the person that just keeps going? Because you're like, oh, well, they don't need me. Maybe they do need you. And maybe they need you to tell them about Jesus. You ever think of that? Remember, God sees what's in your heart. I'm just a messenger. But God sees what's in your heart. So that's what you have to deal with God. All that stuff you have to deal with God. But I'm telling you, be kinder and focus on positives today, right? Because we're going to see negatives. We're going to see them. But why do you have to just go off on the negatives? Somebody makes you upset or mad. Well, I'm not letting that live in me, right? Because you don't need to. You don't need to do it. It's wasted energy. Wasted energy. It really is. You can be positive. You can just love. Love is the key to a lot. love. So, anyways, have a wonderful and blessed day. And I love you.